Sonneman.
Investigators from both the Winona County Sheriff's Office and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension worked tenaciously for over 13 years to gather the sufficient evidence for my office to file this criminal complaint this morning.
Beckley is married with 2 children. She is in custody and faces a minimum of 4 years in prison at sentencing. A 65-year-old Independence man is now charged in connection with an incident involving a gun at Fairview Southdale Hospital this week. Investigators say Larry Sharp and his sister were arguing in their mother's hospital room when Sharp grabbed the sister's gun and threatened to shoot her. The incident prompted a lockdown of the hospital as law enforcement swarmed the area. The criminal complaint says the two were arguing over who should have power of attorney over their mother, and that Sharp punched his sister several times in the head and pushed her into a chair. He did not fire the gun, but left it on a table outside of the room as he left. Sharp was arrested at his home a short time later. It's Latino Affairs Day at the Minnesota State Capitol.
It's a chance for Latino civic leaders and community members to lay out their priorities to lawmakers. One issue at the forefront this year is securing more funds for bilingual child literacy programs. Representative Maria Perez Vega.
Our teachers who come as Spanish speaking, as Oromo speaking, as Somali speaking, as Hmong speaking, as the 140 dialects of languages that are spoken in my district, are recognized that if something's not written right in the law, me and the lawmakers that are elected have the responsibility to change that.
Those at the Capitol also urged legislators to maintain driver's license privileges for undocumented immigrants and to consider the creation of a Latino cultural museum in St. Paul.
That's WCCO's Taylor Rivera. Just a few hours away now from puck drop as the Minnesota Wild continue their playoff run against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Round 1 of the playoffs now shifts to the XL Energy Center tonight, but unlike in years past, the Wild haven't been unstoppable at home, going 22-17-2 at the X this season. Nonetheless, General Manager Bill Guerin told WCCO's Vanita Sakar in the morning news he expects the arena to be loud tonight.
No earplugs, but I expect it to be rocking. I hope it's rocking. I hope the fans are excited. It should be, this is going to be a good series. I expect it to go long.
The puck drops for Game 3 at 8 p.m. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It will be quite the night for local sports fans with the NFL draft getting underway as well. The Vikings have 4 picks and sit with the 24th selection in the first round. The Pioneer Press's Dane Mitsutani telling WCCO's Vanita Sakar about which direction the team could go.
Could they take 24, trade back, and garner more picks in the process? Or the other option is, do they just take someone at 24 if someone falls in their lap that they really love? That's really the big question right now entering tonight.
He says whatever happens tonight will frame how the rest of the draft goes. WCCO News Time is 4:21.
You're listening to Drive Time with DERUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Anybody else feel like it was straight up gaslighting during that Twins radio broadcast? I'm listening to the Twins game, and these guys keep saying it's misting. It's misting outside. So I step out of my house, and it's a full-on downpour. Like I could hear my lawn just kind of drinking it up. Welcome to Drive Time. We're on the air. Laura Oakes with an abbreviated news update for you, just so we can get you up to date on everything that was going on today. Taylor Rivera, is Taylor here in the building?
No, I think she worked a morning shift.
So there is a very famous Saturday Night Live skit where, and this was from, I don't know, but today it's probably inappropriate. So why not bring it up? I've been sitting here waiting for the dang rain delay to be over on a day where you're like, why are the Twins even playing this game? They didn't want to upset the 682 fans who were wearing ponchos out there, who wanted to see 2 crappy teams go play baseball. The Twins would have won this thing if we got to finish it. No? But there's an old Saturday Night Live skit with news anchors trying to out Latino each other in the pronunciation of names. If any of you guys remember this, text me at 651-461-9226. Maybe we could, I don't know. Cook looks like you look utterly uninterested in this. You started it by laughing at Taylor.
I was not laughing at Taylor.
Okay. So when I was a news anchor, though, and you had to read a name, you had to decide, am I going to be white guy reading, Antonio Banderas? I remember them. The name I remember them doing was Bob Costas. Yeah. See how good your Googling is. Spanish accent, news, Spanish. Maybe it wasn't even a news thing. Who knows? Maybe I'm just. No, this is it. I found it. Have you found it?
No.
Cook, I'm on the air talking and I found it.
Well, but it's your idea, so you know what you're looking for. I'm
put it on. This is Dan Carvey. There's Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, all of these white. Yeah. So good. And Jimmy Smith. So there's the bet. This is my memory taking us back to 1990. Jimmy Smith is the guest. But like this is real stuff where when you are anchoring the news, you're like, is it Nicaragua? Is it Managua? Is it? And how stupid do I look as white guy from Chicago really trying to hit it hard? Like if you are Taylor Rivera, you can do it. You can do it. Twins lose. What are you gonna do, man? Twins took 2 out of 3. Do we feel better about the Twins? If we were taking the temperature, how do you feel after that game?
I'd have felt a lot better if they'd gotten the sweep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, 2 out of 3, you're never going to shake a stick at that, but did they play really well during that time? I don't know. They were okay. Chicago's awful.
Yeah. Very bad.
That much is clear. I think this weekend series with the Angels is going to tell you a lot more.
Yeah, it's, there is nothing better than summer in Minnesota when you feel like the Twins have a chance because Target Field is beautiful. And so even if they tank, you're still going to go, right? Like it's still a great place to watch a game. It's a fun environment. It's part of summer. It's in the city. Like all the things about it are good. Oof. But baseball's a long freaking season. It's better
suck. It's better when the team's playing well.
What is the most painful team to be terrible? 651-461-9226. Of all of our sports, and right now we're watching playoff action. I mean, really today, Dan, every sport sort of is coming together. I'm wearing a Minnesota Wild T-shirt from the year that they were all growing beards during the playoffs. That was the bit. Because I'm going to the Wild game tonight. You got the Wild in the playoffs tonight. The Wolves at home tomorrow. the NFL draft tonight with the all-important 24th pick in the first round. That's the franchise-changing pick. And
until they trade back.
Of all of the things, probably fans care most about the Vikings, which is sort of sad when you have two teams in the playoffs right now. But the NFL draft probably will get most attention. But I'm wondering, like, what is the most painful? What is the most painful when they're bad?
Texter says hockey for sure. If the Wild and Frost were terrible, our state's title of the state of hockey should really just be given to Canada.
That is interesting. Like, when your hockey teams are awful, it hurt. I think it hurts the psyche a little more. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Now, I'm a mild hockey fan, so it doesn't affect my psychology as much. But for the state, that's probably rough.
I think there's two kind of debatable answers on this one. Baseball season's the longest season
so
of all.
long.
So that's the drudge. If your team's not playing well, then that was just the length of it.
It's going to be worse for us because we got these games on this air.
That doesn't help.
And people are still going to listen.
But there is, I mean, it's not close. The sport that the most people in Minnesota care the most passionately about is football, is the Vikings.
Yeah.
So when the Vikings are bad,
I think
it's more acute, the pain that fans feel just because they care so desperately much about the NFL and the Vikings.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think a rough Twins season, just sheer length, is the worst. And luckily, I mean, Dan, I'm trying to think, like, when was the last time that we really had one of those where it was a real dog of a season? I mean, one of my complaints about our sports teams is that we're never so bad that we reap the benefits of really being terrible. Like, we never get that great draft pick because we were so awful. Now, the Timberwolves had a stretch, right?
Had a long stretch of futility. Yes.
Yeah. But are you looking up the Twins?
I'm looking up the Twins because, I mean, obviously the late Metrodome years were not good.
Yeah. Worst Twins, and maybe you guys remember kind of the worst Twins memory in your record. Usually when we think of teams in futility,
here you go,
we think more of, instead of the prolonged agony, you think of the years where you had promise, where you fell short in the playoffs.
I knew there was one particularly bad year for the Twins in Target Field. That would be 2016 when they went 59 and 103. That was a bad one.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
That's really bad. Yeah, you sort of need to look at the percentage, right? Because the season has gotten longer. But, well, I guess it's been 162 since the 80s for sure.
You go back to like the 2000 and then in the late 90s, and you'd have 69 wins, 63 wins, 70 wins, 68, 70. I mean,
2016, if you look at win percentage, the worst year was 1904. Do you remember that year, Dan?
I don't, actually.
We were 55.5 games back, 38 and 113, with a winning percentage of 25%. But in modern history, you've got, and that was the Washington Senators, right?
I was going to say that was back in the Senators.
Does that count? Sure. No, I don't think we have to count that.
Counts as a team record,
but the worst was 81 and 2016. Those were the worst Twins years. And then 2011, you mentioned that was pretty dang bad too.
Yeah,
I guess we've had more of those than in.
There's been some stinkers.
I was here for 11 and 16, but 12 and 13 were pretty bad also.
Yeah,
I guess we've had more bad Twins.
There's been some unfortunate seasons in the ball club. Yes.
I mean, in 2012 and 2013, we were 66 and 96.
It's not good.
We're not headed there, are we?
I hope not.
Ugh.
I hope not.
All right,
they had a rough start last year and ended up winning 82 games. That's possible again this year, but it isn't what we were hoping for, obviously.
We're going to break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a war hero, an American Special Forces soldier who, after 9/11, was deployed to Afghanistan on horseback. His Special Forces Group story became a subject of a Hollywood film. He's here in Minnesota tonight talking to the DAV, which is celebrating 100 years in Minnesota. We'll have that conversation for you coming up here on CCO.
Jason DeRusha and Drive Time needs to make a brief pit stop on News Talk 830 WCCO.
JH and Sons at the Galleria. Have you gotten there yet? It's Jason for my friends at JH and Sons. I will be at the Galleria store tomorrow visiting Kevin and Dean, who just did some tailoring on a brand new suit for young Samuel, who'll be ready for prom, ready for high school graduation, and then he'll pack up that beautiful suit and take it off to the University of Southern California. Sam's gonna have a little bit of a head start out there as he goes into business. The kind of service that Sam got at JH and Sons, it's the same kind of service you can get when you visit this great store at the Galleria. The guys who work there have been selling men's clothes in the Twin Cities for at least 15 years each. The best tailor in the cities is Dean. He's there. He'll take care of you. The service is next level. The selection is the top brands, the top fabrics, and they've got more casual clothes, too. If you're not looking for tailoring for wedding season or whatever's coming up for you this summer, go to JH and Sons at the Galleria. Check out the linen shop. Linen is in for this summer. My guys, Kevin and Bryce, will hook you up. Go say hi. Check out the best experience. It's upscale. It's fantastic. It's special. It's JH and Sons at the Galleria.
Hey, my name is Nee Addy, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Philo, the TV streaming service that puts its audience first. What does that mean? It means no hidden fees and no long contracts. It means 24/7 customer support with real people. And it means the easiest and most affordable way to watch the stuff you love to watch. Live TV from networks like A&E, BET, Nickelodeon, and Discovery. All the groundbreaking blockbusters from AMC+. A huge library of movies and shows on demand that you can stream now or save to rewatch for up to a year and fast forward through commercials. We even have more than 100 channels that are always free, even if you pause or cancel your subscription. And the best part, TV shouldn't break the bank. So all of this is just $28 a month when you sign up at philo.tv. Check us out risk-free. That's PHILO.TV.
You'll feel better, you'll sleep better, and it's all coming to you for free. That's right. Jordana Green here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Mini Leaf products are free shipping all of April. That triple diamond pain cream is perfect for any pain you're having and maybe even any bug bites or a sunburn you're having. Want to sleep better? Those Sleep Night gummies will definitely do it. Go to MINNELEAF.com. I use these products. They really help me through my cancer recovery. They help me get off my Ambien. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. MINNELEAF.com. That's minileaf.com. Free shipping throughout the month of April. Tell them Jordana sent you when you go to minileaf.com. Free shipping all of April.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Dave Lee with some exciting news. The Aquarius Home Services and Connecticut Customer Appreciation Open House is happening May 2nd through 4th. Save up to 30% on Connecticut water systems. Water filters 20% off. Heating and cooling systems up to 30% off. Plus savings on generators, water heaters, and more. Be sure to bring a water sample for a free analysis. Savings, food, and fun for everyone. It's all happening May 2nd through 4th in Little Canada at 694 and 35E. Details at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Hi, Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Our team is here to help you with any real estate questions you may have about buying, selling, or investing. Our approach is simple. We focus on you and your best interests. No hard sales pitch, rush, or pressure. We work on your timeline. 612-294-6949, mnrealestateshow.com. That's 612-294-6949. 6949.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Shop in, store online. Got some wet roads and rain out there to contend with. Make sure you're buckled up and the headlights are on. Traffic is on the slow side, pretty much system-wide. Highway 100 jammed up both directions between Highway 55 and Highway 62. 62 eastbound, you're going to find that to be a slow drive. Is moved from Gleason heading up toward the Mendota Bridge. 491 northbound, speeds below the posted. As you make way between Highway 62 all the way up into the Fish Lake interchange. Find fresh organics at Whole Foods Market. Get 16-ounce containers of organic strawberries for $3.99 each with Prime through April 29th. Top your breakfast with fresh slices or have them as a sweet snack. While supplies last, shop in, store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Clogged gutters? Call the pros. Advantage Home Pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials. Seamless gutter installation, cleaning, and covers. Our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Advantage Home Pros bringing us the weather forecast. Experience the advantage at AdvantageHomePros.com. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Another round of April showers tonight, 43 the overnight low. We'll see the sunshine by tomorrow afternoon with a high up around 60. Saturday looks awesome, partly cloudy, mid-60s for a high. Clouds roll in Sunday, more April showers that will spill into Monday, and it looks like we could see some thunderstorms on Monday afternoon.
It is raining in much of the Twin Cities right now. It's raining in much of Minnesota, to be honest. Right now it is 52 degrees on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DERUSHA.
Not for me. I mean, this, not for me.
I mean, it is horrifying.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Every step we take is going to be on a minefield from 100 different wars. Odds are we're not all going to make it out of this one.
If we don't take that city, World Trade Center is just the beginning.
That is a clip from a Hollywood movie that told the story of American soldiers on horseback. An amazing real-life story called 12 Strong. The man whose story was made famous in that film is real, and he's in Minnesota right now speaking at a celebration of 100 years of the DAV, helping disabled American veterans in Minnesota. Mark Nutsch is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline, and he joins us from Treasure Island, where what a thrill for the Minnesotans to hear his story tonight. We're so glad to have you here, Mark.
No, thank you, Jason. I'm excited to be here at Treasure Island tonight, speaking with the DAV group that's here for celebrating their 100th centennial gala.
Your story from joining the Army, from being in the Special Forces, it's, I suppose, when you look back at your military career, are you surprised that it's become, the thing of Hollywood movie? It's become such, it's captured America's imagination.
Well, I think it was that moment in history, when we were honored to be part of America's response and have an honor to lead this historic Special Forces unconventional warfare mission at the time. It's just our job. Life choices have put us here by fate. We've got the right guys, the right talent, confident that we can do this incredibly challenging and nearly impossible mission. There's no plausible reason for why we survived it. Hundreds of our allies were killed in the course of that mission, hundreds more injured. And one of our CIA teammates, Mike Spann, was killed towards the tail end of that mission. But, at that time in history when America is looking for some hope, our team, in the story of us riding horseback for 21 days, uniting these tribes and riding horseback in the mountains of Afghanistan with the resistance group, fighting against the Taliban and Al-Qaeda that has tanks and modern vehicles. That's just part of that American, mythology around our frontiersmen and our U.S. frontier cavalry and cowboys and the Western lifestyle. But it was hard living. We lost 20, 25 pounds of body weight in that month. You're running on 2 to 4 hours of sleep, and everything was trying to kill you.
One of your fellow Special Forces veterans is with you there at Treasure Island to help present some of the awards. Minnesotan Michael, right? Michael Mack.
Yeah, Mike McElhaney, incredible American. Mike served on another Special Forces team during that historic moment that went into southern Afghanistan and worked with that leader, Hamid Karzai, who would then become designated as the interim president of Afghanistan.
Huh. Boy, I tell you, you look at your story and you look at today where we are, again, looking at our military, looking at how do we inspire the next generation to serve. I think, I'm Gen X, I'm 50. I know a lot of guys who were called to serve after that terror attack. Today, I don't know. What is it when you talk to young people? What is it you think that can inspire younger Americans to serve again like you did when you were called?
I think it's just having a sense of purpose, maybe, and to serve a higher calling, something bigger than themselves. To be with a team or a military unit and get to know those people and go through the challenges that you have in military training, but then particularly to be employed operationally to safeguard our country and protect our way of life and all the freedoms and benefits that we have here in America. I know there's a lot of negative things out there in the news, but yet our country is the shining light. I've been in probably 15 foreign countries, and they aspire to have a fraction of the freedoms or the economic opportunity that we do right here in Minnesota and across America.
In Minnesota, we have quite a strong community of horse riders, a horse community. Do you still live in Florida? Are you in Tampa?
I spend my time bouncing between Florida there, where our business started, our Horse Soldier Bourbon brand. Then I'm originally from Kansas and grew up on a cattle ranch and rodeo and lifestyle. And
do you still ride? Do you get on a horse very often?
Oh, as much as I can. But I'm still working with some veterans now this next week that are former special operators that are learning how to ride horses, and that organization has put us into a reining cow horse competition and things. So yeah, I get around horses every time I can.
Have you when you look at the disabled veterans the DAV who you're with tonight, how have you been able to kind of keep yourself from going to a dark place, right? Because there were so many dark times.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, I've been through incredible experiences. Afghanistan was just one chapter after having 4 combat deployments as a commander. We were fortunate through that, but then later, I worked as a defense contractor, and I started to see more of our former teammates were being killed as contractors than what had served on active duty, and have dealt with friends that committed suicide and can second guess, blame myself, what did I miss, those kind of things. But I've also gotten some classes and instructed on try to help be aware of these behaviors or some statements or actions, and try to help pull some of the friends out of that, or point veterans that I meet all around the country, point them towards organizations like the DAV and other veteran service organizations to try to get some help. All right. And I know I went through that myself I do need some help, and I need to talk about some things with some people, because I lost a teammate and that I was feeling very guilty about personally. But the services are out there now more than ever, and we just need to maybe set our egos aside and say, yeah, I need help. It's better if I have somebody that I can talk with about this. So being here with the veterans I've seen so far here last night and today, there's a lot of laughing, joking, and handshakes and reminiscing about things, and I've seen nothing but smiles here.
Mark
so
Nutsch,
I'm looking forward to this tonight.
Mark Nutsch is with us. His story was portrayed in 12 Strong, that movie. Tell me, and I don't want to force you to get too political about things, but military readiness, pride in America, pride in our military was an issue that came up in the last campaign. What's your sense? I mean, are we turning a corner on that? Are we Are we getting? Are we moving in the right direction or the wrong direction? You think?
I think we're moving in the right direction with that. Again, that pride of service, and recruiting numbers have jumped back up again, as I understand, and people are joining the different services. There's incredible opportunity there from a job or employment standpoint. The technical skills, this new Space Force is one of them. They're trying to figure that out. All the services in today's warfare require more technical skills than I think we've ever had at any point in our history, regardless of what branch you serve in. We need smart, talented young men and women that are willing to step forth and do the tough jobs and serve their country. And I applaud that and encourage that.
How many Chris Hemsworth references do you get on a on a weekly basis? You are Thor.
Well, my wife assures me there's a likeness. I just want to say it's camera angles. He's not taller than I am, but I joke. I relate more to Fat Thor, personally than him. But I've met Chris. Formed a short friendship with him there as the movie was released, and got to meet him and his family.
Well, it's great to have you here in Minnesota. Really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to visit with us today, Mark. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Butch Whit. All right, that's part of an interview. We also talked the head of the DAV, and we'll upload that for you on our podcast platform so you can hear that. They're celebrating 100 years. That's a good chat with Butch as well. We got a break. It is 4:49. Rain still coming down. When will it stop? Will it stop in time for those of us who will be walking from our cars to the Wild game tonight in St. Paul? We'll talk about that next.
Don't touch that dial. More Drive Time with DeRusha coming up on News Talk 830 WCCO.
The rain is good news for your lawn. That is for sure. It's Jason here for my friends at Pro Turf. They are the ones who take care of my lawn. They want to take care of your lawn as well. If you go to professionalturf.com, you can see the incredible work and all the services that the Pro Turf team provides. They're here in Minnesota. They're family owned. They've been here for more than 30 years. And a lot of the people who work for Pro Turf, because they love the company, they love taking care of you. They have been there. The guy who does heads up their lawn work, like the weed prevention and make your lawn look thick and lush and good, he's been there for 26 years. 26 years of field service. How cool is that? They come to your house. They do an in-person estimate. I love this because they'll see your problem areas. They'll see the opportunities to improve it. They'll design a solution with liquid, with granule, just for you. 952-469-8680. And then irrigation, man. If you have, most of us haven't turned on your irrigation system yet. The rain today will give you another couple of weeks before you have to turn it on. Reach out to Pro Turf. Have them do it so they can check your system. Make sure you're not wasting water. Oh, doesn't it drive you nuts when you see somebody's irrigation system just squirting water all over the place? Get it on your lawn. Save money. The cost of hiring Pro Turf to have them turn it on, you'll make that money back if you're going to have a leak or a problem. That's for sure. 952-469-8680. You can see their work at professionalturf.com.
I'm Karen Heintz with Baird Private Wealth Management. At Baird, investing and financial planning are just part of the solution. Just as important is our personal commitment to your success. Meeting with you, answering your questions, working with your tax and legal advisors, so you can see your complete financial picture come together. Focused on you, no matter what. That's how Baird's been doing business for more than 100 years. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
Most data breaches don't come from hackers. They come from old laptops and phones sitting in closets. Studies reveal that these neglected devices are a leading cause of data breaches. Recycling your electronics protects your data and the planet. At Electronics Recycling of Minnesota, we offer free, secure recycling services for both individuals and businesses, with certified data destruction options available as well. Protect your data. Protect the environment. Learn more at eCycleMN.com.
So how do we create value? This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. Value comes from having complete control over our product quality. From design to manufacturing to delivery, everything is handled in-house by our trained professionals. This approach allows us to maintain strict quality standards and respond quickly to customer needs. We believe true value is created when a company takes full responsibility for its products. When you choose OMF, you're getting a mattress built with care and attention at every step. originalmattress.com.
Hi, it's Vanita, and we know how great the John Schuster Group is, but it's wonderful to hear from people who have benefited from that relationship. One of them is Ray from Minnetonka. Ray, thanks so much for joining us. Why did you choose the John Schuster Group?
At our first meeting with Tim and Abby Lehman, we clicked right away.
What was your experience like selling your home with the John Schuster Group?
It was incredibly simple. Our first day on the market, we got our first offer, and I was like, wow, we did get multiple offers, but we went with the first offer we got on Friday.
Okay, bottom line, why should every WCCO listener contact the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, when it's time to move?
From the moment they walked into our home, we had nothing to worry about with them. We're just beyond our expectations. We just can't thank them enough.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Brought to you by Linda's Construction, lindasconstruction.com. What roads out there to contend with? Make sure you're buckled up and the headlights are on, and give yourself plenty of extra time. It is a slow drive pretty much across the entire system. North 169, Highway 55, got a crash working. Left lane shut down. Traffic is pretty much heavy as you come up from 62. If you're traveling Highway 100, that's jammed up both directions between 55 and Highway 62 as well. West 94, so into Minneapolis, that all begins as make way past Snelling. April is a great time to call Linda's Construction. You can get free installation labor on quality leaf guard brand gutters and siding. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
What a crazy winter. Crabgrass season will be early. Don't wait till it's too late to get your project scheduled. Call ProTurf 952-469-8680 or see their work at professionalturf.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
All right, ProTurf, bringing you the weather. It's raining. It's raining a lot. Scattered showers throughout the rest of the night, low of 43. Tomorrow, the clouds go away, although this rain is going to be around till midnight probably. High of 60. Saturday looks good. 65 is the high. Late Sunday. Rain coming, and then all day Monday. Man, save the water. Here we go. Right now, it's 58 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DERUSHA.
I think this is just all a bunch of hullabaloo and a waste of time.
You're not wrong.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Go to the Wild game tonight. Do I stop at the Minneapolis Club for like a soda pop first? What do you think? What's the right move? 8 o'clock start. Gonna have dinner before the game.
Makes nothing but sense.
Maybe I'll go, you can go to Charlie's over at the Minneapolis Club. It's open to anybody. So you can go, especially if you're coming down for a Twins game or coming down for the Timberwolves game tomorrow. Make a reservation at Charlie's. Come have dinner, sit at the bar. Enjoy. The 5 o'clock hour will be a little normal. These Twins games kind of get us all like thrown off into crazy town. DRUSH Hour News headlines, the lead, all the good stuff coming up here at CCO.
Hey, sports fans, Postman Law delivers. We've recovered over $3 billion for injured clients. From fender benders to major accidents, our team tackles the tough stuff, letting you focus on recovery. Dial 844-POSTMAN now. Postman delivers speed.
Did you read the headline in the newspaper today that talked about how difficult it was? The housing market was just absolutely frenzied in the sub $500,000 part of the market. The reality is, I was talking to my friend Chris Lindahl the other day, and Chris and I were talking about just this scenario that if you are in the market to sell a house, you just have no idea what's going on. What's the interest rate going to be? What's the market looking for? What are buyers looking for? How competitive is it? How do you price it? Lots of stress for people who are looking to sell, and Chris Lindahl takes it all off the table. You know, the arms wide out guy, but he's got his arms wide out with a guaranteed cash offer. Let's just get it done. You want to sell your house fast? Guaranteed cash offer, best deal going. You'll get your money. You pick your closing date. You pick your moving date. You're in control of the whole operation. Go to chrislindahl.com. There's a reason more than 30,000 people have chosen this option. It works. It's reliable. It's Chris Lindahl.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Chuck McDowell here. If you were misled or lied to in any way when buying a timeshare, right now is your wake-up call. With the tariffs, economy tanking, and inflation rising, you might need to ask yourself this question. Is owning a timeshare a good idea? With all the economic uncertainty, you need to protect yourself and your family. Don't look back and say, if I'd have only got rid of that stupid timeshare they lied to me about. It's time to stop thinking about canceling your timeshare and finally get rid of it and be smart with your money. At Wesley Financial Group, we've saved 48,000 families an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare permanently or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040.
More than just news. It's the why behind the headlines. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump said today Russia is willing to make concessions to end the war in Ukraine.
We're putting a lot of pressure on Russia, and Russia knows that, and some people that are close to it know, or he wouldn't be talking right now.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov spoke to Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan.
The statement by the president mentions a deal, and we are ready to reach a deal, but there are still some specific points, elements of this deal which need to be fine-tuned.
There were a number of court orders today on Trump administration policies. Matt Piper breaks it down.
One federal judge has ruled President Trump's executive order that looks to crack down on sanctuary cities getting federal funding is likely unconstitutional. The injunction was sought by San Francisco and 15 other cities and counties. Another federal judge is blocking the administration from implementing a policy to end DEI or race-related school programs or risk losing federal funding. And another federal judge is blocking portions of Trump's order that sought to overhaul elections, including a provision to require proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. Matt Piper, CBS News.
The administration's asked the Supreme Court to allow it to enforce a ban on transgender service members while legal challenges proceed there. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
The Supreme Court often defers to the executive branch when it comes to military matters, but we'll have to see if they take this case, on what basis they take this case.
The American Meteorological Society has published a rare special report in response to the funding and staffing cuts at government agencies that track the weather. Here's CBS's Tracy Wolf.
The report suggests 3 immediate recommendations, including restoring funding for earth science research, as well as funding at university and research partners, and maintaining staffing levels at all agencies.
The report says the recent cuts have threatened the quality of forecasting, and that could include shorter tornado warning time and uncertainty over hurricanes and where they make landfall. The Vatican says 90,000 people have viewed the body of Pope Francis. Correspondent Tony Aiello is in Rome.
Some of Pope Francis's relatives were among those who paid their respects as he lay in state in a simple wooden coffin. Many mourners waited for hours for a glimpse of the late pontiff.
To see the Pope in his simple coffin, it takes your breath away.
The funeral for the Pope will be Saturday. It may be a little harder to plan your summer travel. Many airlines are reducing flight schedules because of concerns about the economy and tariffs. On Wall Street, the Dow finished the day 486 points higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now from Minnesota's radio station, let's get you caught up with Minnesota's latest headlines and biggest stories on News Talk 830 WCCO.
And the light rain continues, 48 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. The mother of an infant found floating in a bag in the Mississippi River near Winona in 2011 is now charged with manslaughter. The child, known as Baby Angel, was found with an angel figurine and blue pendant necklace that family members recognized, and along with multiple rounds of forensic testing, led investigators to 43-year-old Jennifer Beckley. Winona County Sheriff Ron Ganrud.
For more than 13 years, Baby Angel's tragic death has weighed heavily on the hearts of the Winona community. She deserved better than a watery grave. She deserved more than a life cut short.
An autopsy showed the infant had several skull fractures and was delivered without medical intervention. Family members told authorities that Beckley, who is married with 2 children, had been living in a van in Winona at the time. A 65-year-old Independence man is now charged in connection with an incident involving a gun at Fairview Southdale Hospital this week.
Investigators say Larry Sharp and his sister were arguing in their mother's hospital room when Sharp grabbed the sister's gun and threatened to shoot her. The incident prompted a lockdown of the hospital as law enforcement swarmed the area. The criminal complaint says the two were arguing over who should have power of attorney over their mother, and that Sharp punched his sister several times in the head and pushed her into a chair. He did not fire the gun, but left it on a table outside of the room as he left. Sharp was arrested at his home a short time later. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Safeguarding vaccine use in the United States is the goal of a new initiative announced today by the University of Minnesota.
Infectious disease expert Dr. Michael Osterholm, who directs the University of Minnesota's Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, is announcing the Vaccine Integrity Project. Osterholm says if issues are raised in the future about vaccine data, recommendations, and safety,
and there is not a federal response that is adequate to address those, we need to have some kind of coordinated across the vaccine enterprise way of responding to that. And so what we're looking at right now is just how would that look? How would that come about? What would be the possible ways to make that happen?
Osterholm says a group of 8 people on the Vaccine Integrity Project Steering Committee will meet with health and policy experts in the coming weeks to gather how vaccine use can remain grounded in the best available science. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hundreds of civic leaders and community members gathered at the state capitol for Latino Affairs Day today. Constituents urging legislators to maintain driver's license privileges for undocumented immigrants amid challenges to the law from those who believe it could negatively impact voter registration and federal immigration enforcement. Community organizer Jovita Morales recalls the year she and others fought to get the driver's license for all law passed and says it needs to be protected.
We was camping. We was camping inside of the governor's office. We was doing a lot of those activities until finally we came together and passed this driver's license.
Organizers are also supporting legislation to create a Latino cultural museum in St. Paul. WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Crash working yet is trouble North 169. Update brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. North 169, Highway 55 is where you'll find the wreck. Left lane continues to be blocked. Traffic continues to be slow as you come up from Bend Road. 394 jammed up both directions between downtown and Highway 100. 494 northbound, watching slowdowns there through Woodbury up into Oakdale as make way toward 15th Street, and looks like we got the slowdowns in place for 694 both directions between Victoria and 252. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metals collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. American Rare Coin and Collectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The face of Minnesota veterans is changing. For the centennial year celebration, DAV of Minnesota invites you to join the ongoing effort to fulfill promises made to the men and women who served our great state and nation. Donate today at davmn.org.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Brought to you by DAV of Minnesota. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The scattered showers continue tonight. 43 the overnight low. We'll call it increasing sunshine tomorrow with a high up around 60, 65 on Saturday with some sunshine. That'll be the nicer weekend day. It gets cloudy on Sunday with rain back in play late Sunday night into Monday.
Light rain right now, 48 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Not just the headlines, but context, commentary, and conversation. News Talk 830 WCCO. No suit, no tie, just DERUSHA. It's Drive Time. Live from the WCCO studios, high atop the Odyssey Tower.
You're watching the cool brainwashing 12-year-old and younger station that hides behind a slick image. We're so cool that we decide what's cool. And now, here's your host,
Jason DERUSHA.
I'm just asking Laura if we're maybe like downplaying the rain. And I know we're not California. It's not, we don't need like total nonstop rain coverage. I don't need Vern and Cologne to call in and tell me what's in his rain kit. Just seems like it's been raining a lot today. I don't know. It's Jason. Welcome to Drive Time. I went to physical therapy today. Nothing makes you feel older than sitting in the waiting room with physical therapy. Because in the room, it's you, the walking wounded, and like high school athletes. You're looking around and you're like, what are you in for? My lower back. It's a strange place. I'm in rough shape, to be honest. The physical therapist asked me if I was going to talk about if I had anything good to talk about on my radio show today. I'm like, you keep it up, it'll be you. With that attitude, young lady. Instead, why don't we do the DRUSH Hour news headlines and let's do the lead.
Now, time to get you caught up on some of the biggest stories of the day. These are the DRUSH Hour headlines.
Good evening. Our top story.
This just in.
Our top story.
We begin tonight.
We begin tonight.
We begin tonight.
We begin with the lead.
We talked about the issues earlier this week and last week. Questions about conflict of interest at the state legislature. Is it okay if you're an elected official to try to get money for a place that you used to work for? Is it okay to try to funnel a state contract to a guy that you've done pro bono legal work for? An ethics committee today looked at the Senate president, Bobby Joe Champion, and they said that he did not, in fact, have a financial conflict of interest when he introduced a bill to award $1 million to a nonprofit that was run by his former legal contract. They did not decide whether he had an official conflict of interest when he secured funding for that same nonprofit in 2023. I will say this. There is a difference between an official conflict of interest in state law, and Bobby Joe Champion has been outspoken in saying, look, read the statute. I didn't do anything wrong. And I would say, again, this is another example of when you did do something wrong. You just didn't do anything that was against the statute. And Bobby Joe Champion is in the crosshairs of this issue because the Minnesota Reformer reported on it and it became a news story. I would expect that many of our legislators, considering we are a part-time legislature, we do have people introducing funding bills to direct money to things that they believe are good things. I'm not saying this is some big grift, some big scam, but I do think we need better disclosure. Just be upfront. Here's who it's for. I used to work for these guys. I love them. I can vouch for them. Great. Disclosure is what I think Minnesota wants. What an ethics, I don't know. Who cares? I don't care. What I would like to see going forward is just more disclosure. Be upfront about it. And then people can decide, are you doing something unethical? Or do you surround yourself in life with people whose work you support? And then when you're in the legislature, of course, logically, why should those people be penalized? I don't think they should. But we need to know. We shouldn't have to wait for the Reformer to do a story to bring that out. We're cutting back on snacks. Now you know that all of the talk about the economy, uncertainty about tariffs, uncertainty about the future, now you know that we're nervous because there are two levels of concern about the economy. Level one is when you're buying more snacks. You're drowning your concerns with Doritos and Pepsi. Today, PepsiCo put out their guidance for the full year, expecting that consumers will continue spending less. The overall economy has its own heartbeat, its own issues. But on Main Street, PepsiCo, which of course makes Pepsi, but they make Gatorade, they make Doritos, they make Cheetos. They expect a almost 2% decline in revenue. Now, let's not cry for PepsiCo. Dan, I want you to guess. How many billions of dollars did PepsiCo make in the first quarter? So just 4 cute little months. No. January, February quarter. 3 cute little months.
Yeah.
How many billions?
47.
Oh, hi. That's a lot of money for
I mean,
3 months.
I assumed it would be a lot of money.
$18 million.
Okay.
They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. But we've seen this from other companies. Chipotle, same store sales fell for the first time since 2020, this most recent quarter. Chipotle lowering their guidance. Procter & Gamble saying that consumers are doing less laundry so they can scale back on detergent purchases. Consumer behavior is fascinating to me. When you look in your life and you say, things are a little tough, I got to cut back. Not going to clean that shirt. Laundry detergent is not cheap. But you also, you could trade down. Might I recommend trading down? I don't need America. I know times are tough, but I don't need you people walking around in stinky underwear. That is my request to you. Next story in the lead involves the University of Minnesota. It involves a crop that we can grow here in Minnesota that could be used for airplane fuel. This is so interesting in a state that corn and ethanol is such a big part of the way farmers are making money in this state and staying afloat. But could we use a crop that would be good for the environment, would be good for the airline industry? This is a fascinating story. So we go to Dr. Mitch Hunter, who is the co-director of the Forever Green Initiative. He's an adjunct professor at the University of Minnesota, with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Dr. Hunter, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What's the crop? What are we talking about here?
It's actually 2 crops. Winter camelina is one, and domesticated pennycress is another. They're sister crops, very closely related, behave very similarly.
You received a $75,000 grant for the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. And what are you trying to find out? Well, why don't we start with this? What do we know about these crops as far as how effective they could be in a jet fuel?
We know a lot. We've seen it done. Jet fuel made from winter camelina that was grown in Minnesota and North Dakota was delivered to MSP Airport last September and put into gas tanks. So it works. We've done it from beginning to end on kind of a pilot basis. And we've also done the research to know that these crops are pretty incredible when it comes to protecting soil and water. So they actually grow over the winter, which I know makes people cock their heads in Minnesota, but we plant them in September or October, and they grow a little bit, go dormant under the snow. And right now, across the state and in our research fields, they've popped up. They're growing very vigorously in these cool spring days with lots of sunshine. And we can harvest them mid-late June and then get a second crop in the same year. So farmers get 2 crops in 1 year, 2 shots at something to market. They're protecting the soil and the water over winter. And one of the many things we can do with them is to take the oil from the seed and turn it into fuel.
How much of this do we need to plant? I mean, because right now we're not planting this in any sort of significant way to make production, are we?
No, we're not. Nope. We have about 5,000 acres planted across the whole region. So Minnesota, the Dakotas, et cetera.
Which is sort of nothing,
and-
right? Like that's very minimal. Yeah.
Very minimal. Yep, we're very early days. Now, I will say that 3 or 4 years ago, we had about 100 acres planted. And so we're on a good trajectory. We're growing. Cargill is a really big partner that's helping us push this, and they have a lot of pull in the farming community.
Yes.
But where we want to go is millions of acres for a couple reasons. The first one, and the reason that we, Forever Green Initiative at the U, got into this is to protect the soil and water. So right now, across the state of Minnesota, there are probably about 17 million acres of cropland that really have nothing growing on them. They were harvested last fall and they're just sitting there. So that's a missed opportunity to grow stuff. And those acres are vulnerable right now. They're vulnerable to losing soil to erosion, to nutrients ending up in our lakes and our rivers. And so growing something at this time that's going to be vigorous and taking up nutrients and protecting the soil, that's a huge opportunity. So we want to do this on millions of acres if possible. And not just these two crops. We want a diversity of crops, but these crops are out in the lead. And then we want to do it at scale because we've got a big challenge as a society in decarbonizing air travel, making it greener to fly. I like to go fly and see my friends, see my family. I think many people do. I don't see that behavior going away, but we also need to do something about climate change. So this is a strategy and a tool that we can use.
Mitch Hunter is with us talking a little bit about winter semolina. And I love that last point that you make, Dr. Hunter, because I think you think about the opportunity to use this as a cover crop or as maybe in a field that you're letting go dormant or you're giving it a break from kind of what it takes for corn or beans. This could be a massive, massive game changer. And then to have the benefit of using it in planes, pretty cool stuff. Got to be fun to be researching this.
It is. It's very dynamic. We're figuring new stuff out all the time, new breakthroughs, new challenges, and new partners. And that's what's been really exciting. I think lots of people across the board want to see this work and want to be with us to help make it work. And so this grant from the Pollution Control Agency comes in alongside funds from philanthropies and other donors who are helping us basically chart the course. So how do we get from 5,000 acres now to 1 million acres and beyond? It's not going to be easy, but we need to know what's the roadmap, where do we invest next, what's the next need, so that we can be smart and efficient and get there as quickly as possible.
Part of the stuff, when you hear kind of the federal debate about funding stuff at universities, this is part of the stuff that is getting done. Important work. Dr. Hunter, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Forever Green Initiative. Why not? Let's be the leader in this. I love it. That is the DRUSH Hour news headlines lead. Let's turn the page. Page 2 come your way in a minute with some very good news for some Minnesota beer breweries. A NATO-like alliance that could use the U of M. And St. Paul continuing its track record of being the biggest whiners in the state of Minnesota. That when we come back.
Jason DeRusha returns shortly with more of Drive Time on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Man, I love telling the story of Minnesota's pork farmers and Minnesota pork. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board, which the Pork Board is really people. It's families in every corner of the state. 3,000 pig farmers, some small operations, some multi-generation operations, some larger operations. We're feeding Minnesota and feeding the world. The Pork Board has all of these family farmers taking care of pigs, taking care of people, and taking care of the planet. Now, tonight, maybe you need something for dinner. And when I think of a quick and easy dinner, I like to go to mnpork.com. And when you go to mnpork.com, it's pretty simple. Right in the upper corner, you click on Pork 101. You go up to Pork 101, click on recipes, and now you're cooking, so to speak. I love the fact that you can search for different recipes based on what form of cooking you're using. So air fryer, you're going to bake, you're going to grill. Tonight, if I were going for dinner tonight, I would be going pork tenderloin. Tender, juicy, delicious, often pre-marinated at your butcher shop or your grocery store. So what are you waiting for? Get to mnpork.com for the latest, coolest, most delicious pork recipes. But get to your grocery store or butcher shop and say, let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more. This doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Aquarius Home Services and Connecticut Customer Appreciation Open House is happening Friday, May 2nd through Sunday, May 4th. It's Dave Lee, and I'm so excited that I'm going Friday. I'll be there from 1 to 3, so stop on out and say hi. There's huge savings on heating and cooling systems, Connecticut water treatment systems, water heaters, and more. Plus, food, prizes, and fun for everyone. It's the Aquarius and Connecticut Open House, May 2nd through 4th in Little Canada at 694 and 35E. Details at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Spring into gear at Power Lodge, Minnesota's power sports superstore, with our Play Before You Pay sales event. Right now, ride off with a 23-foot Tri-Tune with 150 horsepower starting at just $39,999 or only $299 a month. Fishing for the best deals before the opener? Save up to $40K on fishing boats and pontoons. We bring you the top brands: Bennington, Godfrey, Lund, Alumacraft, Sea-Doo, Ranger, Skeeter, and more. Power Lodge. We offer unbeatable financing and have no payments for 90 days. Yeah, you heard that right. No payments for 90 days. With pontoons, fishing boats, ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, golf carts, and more, your drive to escape starts at the Lodge. Don't miss it. This month only, get on the water for less at our Spring Into Gear blowout sale. Only at Power Lodge.
At the University of Minnesota, our goal is to make sure what happens in Minnesota doesn't stay in Minnesota, because the discoveries we're making have implications for the health of the world. From the cancer-detecting AI model we built in Rochester, to how we're redefining mental health in Morris, to breakthroughs we're making in Crookston, Duluth, and the Twin Cities. Our discoveries start here, but they make the world healthier everywhere. The University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Drive Time with DERUSHA.
Let's go through the list. What do you think of Jason?
Absolutely no.
Oh, wow. Kathleen, thank you very much.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Just minding my business and they're ripping on me on the 9 to noon show. As long as they're talking about you, Dan. That's all the better. DRUSH Hour News headlines. Page 2, and we start with some good news for Minnesota beer brewers. Beer. Axios Twin Cities reporting that, it's been 4 tough beers for local breweries for sure, but many saw improved sales in 2024, at least slowed their declines. Overall production, this surprised me, I have to be honest. Beer production is up 10.8%. Now, part of that is because of non-alcoholic beers and THC seltzers. National consumption is down by 4%. Minnesota, according to Axios, has a pretty saturated craft beer market. 237 breweries. Now, what always drives me nuts about that is no one says Minnesota has a saturated coffee shop market with 890 coffee shops. To me, the brewery is the modern coffee shop, and we are seeing many breweries taking advantage of their large tap rooms. I do wish, if I could change one alcohol-related law in Minnesota, I do wish that breweries could also, like if you make your own beer, you're a microbrewery, they could also maybe pour a little bit of wine. It's not everybody wants beer. But the social aspect of a brewery, tough to beat it. 7 closings, 8 openings, not that bad. Summit was down big time between 2017 and 2023, but it's up 8.7% in 2024. So pretty good. I like the top breweries: Castle Danger, Fulton, Surly, Indeed, Bent Paddle, Summit, and Shells. Those are your biggest. Prize Brewing on the way up, and Black Stack in St. Paul also on the way up. How about a NATO-like alliance, except of colleges?
Avengers! Assemble.
Yeah. So you got the U of M, you got Michigan, here comes USC, don't take my funding! Washington Post reporting on a burgeoning movement among Big Ten universities. How many Big Ten universities are there now?
What are we up to, 16?
18.
18?
I'm playing Dan Guess the Number today.
I guess.
I let you off the hook of the brewery story. So the White House has taken it to Harvard. And the heads of 18 different universities and their faculty senates and their student governments are saying maybe we got to be a little more proactive, because what happens if the White House comes after us? University of Minnesota had a special academic senate meeting today considering what they're calling the Mutual Academic Defense Compact. Ohio State University, the Ohio State University, the largest Big Ten school, is also having a conversation about that. There are some legal questions about this, depending on the state. Obviously, a lot of these are state-run universities. Are you allowed to kind of, work that out? But pretty interesting stuff. One last note from St. Paul, the home of the biggest whiners in the state. Yeah, bunch of babies over there. Is St. Paul full of the biggest whiners, or do these stories just bubble? If it isn't like, don't take my trees down, don't let the garbage trucks park in this industrial neighborhood. Now it's don't let the concert 2 nights of the year be so dang loud. Remember last year when everybody was losing their mind over the concert at Allianz Field? The city of St. Paul actually approved a sound level variance for the Breakaway Music Festival. The city staff was like, these decibel levels are too high. The council approved it. Now the council's had a change of heart because of the sound that Dan just played. We'll see what happens, but it's a concert. It's 2 days. Suck it up. You live in a city. There's lots of noises. You should be glad that people want to come to the city and come to a concert. It's all right. It's just 2 nights, people. That's the DRUSH Hour news headlines. We're going to get an NFL draft update. Alec Lewis covers the Vikings. He's going to give up. Who are we getting? Pick 24. Are we going to keep it? Are we going to trade it? Where are we at? NFL draft. It's in Green Bay. We'll talk to Alec in a minute.
Drive Time with DERUSHA is back after this on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I hope your lawn is in good shape. I hope you did all the work last year. Everything's set. The rain came down. You're feeling good. But if you're like a lot of us, you know that your lawn needs some help. And there's nobody better, the lawn doctors, than Pro Turf, professional turf, family-owned company. For more than 3 decades, they've been creating the envy of the block on various blocks all throughout the Twin Cities. They will keep away the weeds. They will make your lawn lush and green. But you can also reach out to them for your irrigation system. Doesn't matter who put it in, what brand it is. They'll take care of it. And they are landscaping all-stars. So if you're looking to do mulching, you're looking to do a small project, they'll hook you up. What if you want to do a big project, and why not make this summer the summer? Take out that overgrown, disgusting landscaping that some goofball put in before you even bought the house. Get rid of it. They'll do total replacements. They'll do boulder retaining walls. They'll do new patios, new sidewalks, new pavers for the driveway. See some before and after at professionalturf.com or make the call. Estimates are free. They'll come to your house at 952-469-8680. That is ProTurf.
Some things in life just aren't reliable, like the check engine light that only comes on after you've broken down. That motion sensor faucet in the airport bathroom.
When was this building built? The 40s?
Like that buddy who swears he'll help you move, but on the day of... Trust isn't given, it's earned. For over 100 years, when it's mattered most, Minnesotans come here. News Talk 830, WCCO.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/apply. That's ethos.com/apply.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Spring cleanup is just around the corner. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that spring break trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros with the highest quality workmanship and materials. Our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros, AdvantageHomePros.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
North 169, Highway 55 crash has been taken care of. Still some slowing those. You come up from Brenton Road, 494 northbound jammed up, Highway 62 into the Fish Lake interchange, and then West 94 slowing past 169 to Weaver Lake Road. South 169 got your jam up, 494 heading down to Old Shakopee Road, southbound 35W, a bit slow right out of Bloomington past 98th Street all the way down to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
All right, weather brought to you by Dan Cook. Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another round of April showers tonight, 43 the overnight low. We'll see the sunshine by tomorrow afternoon with a high up around 60. Saturday looks awesome, partly cloudy, mid-60s for a high. Clouds roll in Sunday, more April showers that will spill into Monday, and it looks like we could see some thunderstorms on Monday afternoon.
Light rain on live radar here in the metro. A little heavier rain off into western Wisconsin. Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is 51 and drizzly on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Now video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Well, we are about 82 minutes away from the NFL draft. And boy, what a thrill for everyone gathering in Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Alec Lewis is with us at the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Alec, you did not, did you get the call to go to Green Bay, or are you here for the Vikings draft party at US Bank Stadium?
Kind of neither. A little bit of 0 for 2. I spin the draft at the TCO Performance Center in Eagan in a bunker in the media room. That is, it's fine. I mean, it's a lot of waiting. They
Snacks?
do give us
Are there
nice
snacks?
Yes, there's snacks. They're giving us a food spread. Really, the biggest question of the night for me is what that spread will consist of.
Correct,
But no, going to Green Bay and then standing there and waiting as like people stand and cheer for players who are 22 years old and entering a league that makes that with no obvious answer as to what they will become would be a little probably much for my taste, but it's a big event, so looking forward to seeing what happens.
Are we ever going to get this thing here in Minnesota? Are they rotating this around to all of the cities? Because I would look forward to the national media whining about being in Minnesota instead of Vegas or New York or something like that.
It's kind of surprising that it hasn't been. There's somewhat of I don't know if it's like an inside joke. It's not really a joke, but every owners meetings, which usually happen in March. Some of the beat writers sit down with Mark Wilf, and usually every year someone tosses in the question of, you hearing anything about a future draft? And every year Mark Wilf says that they love to have it. They love to do it. And then it hasn't happened. So I would expect, at some point, it would just make sense. If you can do it in Green Bay, you can do it here where it may or may not be warm by the end of,
you never know.
But I think it would make sense at some point in the future.
How many mock drafts have you prepared?
Way too many, let me tell you. I've produced probably 3 on my own, and then The Athletic and the minds above have generated some, like, all of our beat writers who cover teams will do like a mock draft together. But I mean, if I read one more, my phone will be shattered against the wall probably, because it's a lot of guesswork. It's like, to predict what's going to happen in the draft is like predicting what's going to happen in the bracket, which is really fun when you just get to like sit back and kind of just watch fun games, and maybe like win money. But it can be,
people read it though.
NFL.
The clicks, it's all about the clicks. People are going to click on it because the NFL is America's sport.
Does anybody ever go back and look at previous mock drafts and say this person tends to at least get close?
Oh yeah, like does your boss call you in like, boy, you really this mock draft?
Well, I told my I told my editor, he had me put together like a list of 10 names for each round, for each day. And like I feel pretty confident with conversations I've had. But I said to him, like, if I go 0 for 30 here, like hopefully it's all right for next year. But yeah, it's there are like, the sad part is, the answer to Dan's question, yes, like there are websites that are like mock draft graders. It's the NFL has become.
And they're probably making money. Someone's making money off of this deal.
Right. It's a whole thing, but it is a fun event. It's more fun last year where you're in the market for a quarterback and there's a bunch of quarterbacks available. Like I was texting with a scout in the NFC yesterday, and he said, I've done this for decades, and this is the most boring draft I've ever experienced. And so it's been kind of a lackluster lead up. But I would say I do expect some flurries of moves at the top, and then we'll see kind of who's available for the Vikings later on.
You reposted Diana Rossini, who is one of your big shots NFL insiders at The Athletic, right? And she said there's going to be a lot of action from the Jaguars. They expect a splash from the Jaguars. For Vikings fans, I think we don't expect much, right? The Vikings only have 4 picks. They have their quarterback. So what are you watching tonight for the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, for the Vikings, I'm really just watching the board to see who's going to be there at 24, and then potentially if the players that they like, and there are some names that I feel pretty good about, if those players have already been taken, then what is the likelihood that the Vikings could trade back and potentially recoup some of their draft capital? If they do so, or if that's an option, how far are they willing to go back? What types of picks are they acquiring? I mean, to me, though, that's really it's really a two-pronged. Who's available for them if it gets to 24, and then if they do trade, to where and for how much? I mean, that's really the intrigue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I Diana's a big shot. You calling her that makes me feel like maybe I'm not, which I'm not. So that's pretty accurate. And then yeah, I would expect Jacksonville is interesting. They hired a new GM who is, I believe, in his like low 30s, really young guy, comes from Los Angeles, very data inclined, and then their head coach is an offensive guy, and it just sounds kind of like they could try to swing up the board for the Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter. We'll see what happens. You never fully know with this stuff, but that would be kind of an interesting, I'd say, injection of energy as this thing gets going.
Safety, or do you think there's a shot that they try to get a wide receiver, or is your gut telling you defense is what they're going to do?
I will go none of the above. I would say that the immediate the spot that my mind goes to from what I know would be interior offensive line with a player who could potentially have flexibility, either be a future center or future right tackle. Like that might be the primary target. The safety conversation is an interesting one. There's been a lot of talk about it. If you read 7,000 mock drafts from every national media member in the entire industry, there's been a lot of safety. But
I see that. Yes, the Athletic, the official, the Athletic draft, which we have on our live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's Nick
Eman-Wari. Yes, he is a 6'3", 220-pound, really athletic talent. But for me, just from what I know, I mean, the Vikings, yes, Harrison Smith is back for another year, which is kind of wild, but he still plays at the level that he does and is as integral to this defense as he is. Theo Jackson is this kind of under the radar player who you kind of have to just have been around to know what he could be. But I think he could be a starter. And then Josh Metellus is the other safety that they have confidence in. So for me, I don't know if the safety need is as much as what has kind of been insinuated by people nationally. Now, that could be flipped on its head in about 3 hours when they select the safety, but that's just where the intel that I have right now. I'd go interior offensive line, interior defensive line. That's where I'd start. And then
you put on North Dakota State offensive linemen on your day one options.
Yes.
Gray Zabel.
Yes, Gray Zabel. 1 second, Jay.
No, it's all right. This is Alec Lewis. We're listening live as he's ordering a cheesburger.
Yes, exactly right.
Are they letting you in? Is it tight security out there?
They might think that I'm headed in to see the draft board. Now, if I could get up to the third floor and see it, I'd love to. No, Gray Zabel. Look, like he is. I mean, really, he might be gone quite early in this draft. I mean, I don't know how early. I mean, potentially all the way up to 11 or 13 or something like that. But he is this very athletic North Dakota State talent. They've had a ton of, prospects put into the NFL in recent years from the line of scrimmage. So if he's there at 24, I'd be pretty shocked if he was not the pick just because of the athleticism. He could play left guard for this team. He could be a center in the future. He could potentially play right tackle in the future, and that type of versatility would be nice. But yes, I was also trying to curry favor with the local, readership.
That's what I thought. Like it felt like this was was pandering for the local angle, which I we support fully on this show. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right.
fine.
I mean, if you can do anything you can do to just generate, trust from readership after a month of Aaron Rodgers conversation, you do what you have to do. But no, I don't expect him. If I could probably redo the mock, which I thank goodness that I don't have to, because that would mean doing another one. But another name I'd say is Alabama's Tyler Booker. He's another interior offensive lineman, probably the highest character guy in the entire draft. Like, you talk to coaches who have been around him, and they talk about him like he's a superhero saving the day type of situation. But no, it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening.
All right, Alec Lewis, go read Alec's work at The Athletic. He did a terrific story about Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Very, very good story talking about Kwesi's history, how he's done in his picks and all that. So read that as we wait for things to get started. And Alec, we'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. As always, great to see, and not see you folks, but I know some people are on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's good to catch up. It's always fun. And hopefully I don't sit in the facility for 4 hours and they trade out of the first round and then I just go home empty-handed.
Be the worst. Yes.
But,
yeah. You have 17 stories to publish tomorrow for sure about this. Alec Lewis. You can follow him at The Athletic. He's got his own podcast too, The Alec Lewis Show, which is on YouTube. 5:49. Back in just a minute here on Drive Time.
We need a quick pit stop. Then Jason DeRusha continues on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about a winner. Talk about making the right pick. When it comes to your skincare, you got to draft at the number one position, and you got to go Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for my friends at Tureen. These guys are the absolute best of the best. They're so good, I send my family there. My kids go there. My in-laws go there. Tureen Dermatology, they are the experts. And Dr. Mohiba Tureen is a truly incredible human being. You will absolutely love her. You will love the dermatologist at all of their offices. She's just an awesome person. I love the care I've gotten at Tureen Dermatology is unbelievable. I have a family history of skin cancer. My dad has had a number of cancerous growths removed. Alyssa's dad has as well. Alyssa's dad's gone to Tureen Dermatology to get taken care of. You can't take this for granted. It's your skin. You can't let something just sit there and you don't get it detected and you don't get action, don't get it taken care of. We love being outside in the sun, but you got to take care of your skin. Get that full body skin checkup. If you have eczema or acne or any other skin concern, they take care of all conditions, all skin colors. Everybody's welcome at Tureen Dermatology. 9 locations now. They're near you. They just opened in Lakeville and they just opened in Monticello. They're in Monticello too. Tureen, Tareen, Dermatology. Lindstrom is the other new one that just opened. Tareen, dermatology.com.
Minnesota is known for setting a high standard in healthcare, and for good reason. With our state's world-renowned healthcare institutions, we have some of the best standards of medical care in the United States, right here at home. But now, dangerous legislation is moving through the Minnesota legislature with loopholes that would allow optometrists, who are not medical doctors or trained surgeons, to perform surgery on the delicate tissues surrounding your eyes. It would even allow them to inject a needle directly into your eye, and with no additional training requirements. We only get one pair of eyes. They deserve surgical care from the highest trained medical doctors and surgeons, not a watered-down standard of care. In fact, 85% of Minnesotans agree. So, tell your state legislators to protect our high standards of surgical eye care and reject this dangerous plan. Paid for by the Minnesota Academy of Eye Physicians and Surgeons.
Then on back once again with Ron Esau from Great Garage Floors. Ron and his company came out to my house years ago, and I love that epoxy floor. I know we're going to talk about how easy it is to keep clean, Ron, but there's absolutely no pressure, is there?
Yeah, we just come out really to try to educate the customer on how we do our process, and we give you a quote, and there's really no pressure to get it done. We want you to think about your spring projects, line them up, and if this is a priority this year, we'll get it done for you.
And you bring samples of that work too, don't you?
You sure bet we do.
And this is a good time of year, not only, to keep the garage floor clean for spring and summer and fall, but graduation parties. We always like to talk about that too, don't we?
Yeah, they come up and, this is the backup room. This is the backup room for that rain that may come, or a big windy day, or you want to set up the buffet. It's a nice, good-looking spot to do that.
952-473-8600, or get on the web at greatgaragefloorsforyou.com.
Success is picking up extra shifts for your family. Now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to take the next step. Success looks different to everyone, and University of Maryland Global Campus can help you reach your goals. And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. As an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services, achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. Get your application fee waived now. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Now on CCO, let's do traffic and weather together. First, a check of the drive and what shape the roads are in.
Brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. Got the wet roads out there yet to contend with, and some sowing pretty much across the entire system. I-35 southbound, so actually 35W southbound is slow from 94th Street all the way down to the Burnsville split. And then as you grab I-35, that's going to be slow through Lakeville. Highway 100 jammed up yet both directions as you make the run between Highway 62 and Highway 55. 694 slow ride both directions as you make way between Lexington and 252. When a loved one passes or it's time to settle in a state, the valuables left behind can feel overwhelming. At American Rare Coin and Collectibles in Bloomington, they help navigate these moments with clarity and care. Peace of mind starts with your appointment. American Rare Coin and Collectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's the Aquarius Home Services and Connecticut Customer Appreciation and Open House event. Huge savings on Connecticut water treatment systems, new heating and cooling systems, filters, and more. May 2nd through 4th in Little Canada at 694 and 35E. Details at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Forecast time with an update on current conditions and a quick look at what's ahead the next few days.
Weather brought to you by Aquarius Home Services and Connecticut Customer Appreciation Open House event on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Tonight, scattered showers lasting all night long, down to 43 tomorrow. The clouds decrease. High will be 60. Saturday looks better, 65. And then late Sunday, more rain, and Monday looks like a washout. Right now, it is, I don't know what the temperature is. Hit the button.
This is Drive Time with DERUSHA.
That is the number one addiction in America. Is there any doubt about it?
No, I don't think so.
It's not close.
No.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
47 in St. Paul. 48 in Minneapolis. I got this clock in front of me.
St. Paul's not going to be happy about that. 1 degree cooler.
Yeah, typical. So last night, my wife has a car that has an app. Everybody's car. Does your car have an app?
It does.
I have a Kia.
I love that app.
I don't have an app.
Mine's a Hyundai, and that's got a Hyundai and Kia.
I just have an old car. 28, not that old. 2018. Is that old? I guess.
I mean, that's
no
7 years at this point.
So I'm just sitting watching the Twins game last night, and I get an alert on my phone from Alyssa's car. And it says, your car has been in a collision.
Uh-oh.
So you're like, so I text Alyssa, are you okay? Now, first of all, sometimes I think it was better when we didn't know. Right? So I text her, are you okay? And then I get no answer. And now I'm getting a little nervous.
That's not good.
I knew where she was having dinner. She was at the grocer's table in Wayzata. I'm like, do I need to go drive to Wayzata to make sure she's okay? But of course, I have another app where I can see where she is. So I go.
So the one app sends you to the other app.
Her car was parked. So a half hour later, she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, fine, you ding dong. Why are you bugging me at dinner?
I don't know if somebody bumped the car or if it was a glitch in the app or whatever, but it just about gave me a heart attack last night. She's fine.
We're glad everybody's okay.
I'm going to the Wild game, but I'll be listening to Henry. Henry Lake is here. He's got you covered coming up.
Losing a loved one is hard enough before you have to start worrying about what to do with their things. If you inherit their home and need to sell it, the only call I would make would be to my friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster, with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty.